Hi, I'm Parker, and I'm a business coach. Oh man, there's been so many impactful moments on this retreat. I would say one of the moments that really sticks out is while hiking Haleakala. We went off and climbed up this spot that was pretty special, and one of the guys in the group had an intuition that we should climb up there, and then Bucky led the way, and we scrambled our way up there, and it was quite the adventurous hike. And right at the top of this peak, there was like a piece of rock that kind of just stood up like a pillar, and it was hanging out over this cliff. And all of a sudden, I see Bucky start heading towards it, and next thing you know, Bucky's climbing up on it, and he's standing there like an eagle, looking out, and like edges away, like just like any misstep, and it could have been like literally fatal. And he's just standing there in peace. I'm like, look at that crazy mofo. That is so amazing. And I am like bow down to him doing that, and I don't think there's a chance I could do that. I'm like, no. And next thing you know, he comes down, and he's like, you guys should do that. And in my head, I'm like, no. And that whole hike for me was actually what came up, and my intention for it was trusting myself. And all of a sudden, I see Bucky get one of the other guys to do it. And then I see he gets the other guy to do it. And all of a sudden, it's my turn. He's like, Parker, go. And if I didn't have Bucky there to push me, I wouldn't have gotten the highlight of the trip for me, which was standing up on this ledge, trusting myself even when I was afraid. And it was just such a transformational moment. And I'm going to be bringing that back into my life, into my relationships, into how I show up spiritually, into how I show up in business. There's just so many lessons in that moment of transformation, in trusting myself. And it was exactly what I needed, and it couldn't have happened in a more perfect way. If you're an entrepreneur that's thinking about joining this retreat or working with Leah and Bucky, I'd like to say that if you're anything like me and you feel like you've tried it all, and I've literally spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on different programs and masterminds, and yet something still felt off. And the way Bucky and Leah approach things is from a place of alignment. And instead of forcing your way through, you actually find the flow of where you're supposed to go. And that doesn't mean no challenge. There's lots of challenge. But sometimes that means pausing. And instead of rushing through and forcing it, it's been actually finding the right steps. And this retreat is just so clearly showing that pattern of forcing it myself. And I've never worked with anybody else before that's such examples in their own lives of living in alignment. And it calls it out in you, because it's so obvious that they're in alignment. The whole retreat's been in alignment. Every time we have a conversation, it's in alignment. And things that I've been trying to move for months, years, are moving in days as soon as I get in alignment, as soon as I'm around Bucky and Leah. Steps moving forward are, I'm in a really interesting spot in my business. I have had ups, I've had six-figure months, and I've had downs. And the downs weren't that I had to go down, but that it just felt like I was forcing it again. It didn't feel aligned, it felt off. So much so that I actually just recently parted ways with my business partner. And because I had been operating in such misalignment, I was kind of frozen. I'm like, I don't want to start something that makes me feel misaligned. I don't want to create something that's just going to topple or feel off. I want to create something from the right energy. And I've been frozen for a few months in this state. And one of the biggest takeaways and biggest action steps are living life in a process of action and then attention, and then action and then attention. And it doesn't have to be an extreme of one or the other, but it can be this dance of the two. And I had created this dichotomy of I'm going full out at what I want, or I'm paused trying to figure it out. And I think Bucky's been trying to get me to see this for a while, but it's like being here at the retreat, I actually understood what he meant by the clarity comes through the action. It doesn't mean you have to keep acting once you notice something that's out of alignment is there. It's this amazing dance between the two. And that's quite clearly my action step, is to get back into action without getting into so much action that I'm moving too fast to actually pay attention. Because that balance of the two, I know, is exactly where I needed to be and what was missing in my business before. Bucky, Leah, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. It's so amazing to see you guys stepping into doing these retreats and these adventures, because I can see the impact that it's having on every single person that came. You can literally see it in their faces, how they showed up in this. There's tightness, there's restriction, there's uncertainty. And after a week together, it's like, oh, there they are. There I am. You look in the mirror, you see a different person. And I'm just so, so grateful to you guys that you're stepping more and more into this work, because it's changing my life, it's changing everybody who came's life. And you can tell this is what you're meant to be doing. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for these changes and for everything you guys do.